Hey everybody, it's Eric from EPautos.com, your libertarian car guy. Wanted to talk about something this morning that has absolutely nothing to do with cars. The subject came up of pet vaccinations, and this is something that kind of gets my back up a little bit because vets, I should say, are, in my view, going the same way, that is the mercenary way, that human doctors have gone, in that they are over-prescribing and controlling, and also aiding and abetting the government that wants to completely control us. What do I mean? Let me give you some examples. We have entirely indoor cats. They do not go outside, ever. They have been inside their entire lives. So there is essentially nil chance that they will catch and thus be able to spread rabies. Yes, I understand, a bat might get in the house, but the chances of the bat getting in the house, again, are slim to none. Very, 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 very slight risk, which I'm more than willing to accept, as opposed to the much greater risk of health consequences arising from vaccinating these poor animals. You know, think about the experience that we've had over the past several years with human vaccines and how Q-Sark button safe and effective those vaccines have proved to be. There is essentially no accountability when it comes to pet vaccines. They are not subjected to any sort of standard whatsoever that could be described as rigorous or confidence-inspiring. Probably they use the cheapest materials, adjuvants, and all of that. They don't care, because why would they? The only thing they care about is making more money. Now, that said, just like with the safe and effective vaccines, I don't mind and have no objection to, because I'm a libertarian, how could I, if anybody wishes to choose to take those vaccines themselves or wishes to have their pet vaccinated, hey, that's their business ultimately, and therefore it's none of my business. My objection to it is the pushing of it, which is what happened during the pandemic. And, you know, we who simply wished to be free to make our own decisions about that sort of thing were characterized as being anti-vax, another smear word that was applied to us, as if we opposed allowing other people to make free decisions for themselves. And similarly, the same kind of thing now is happening with these pet meds. They're applying pressure to people. The vets have become the de facto adjuncts, the helpy helpersons of the government. What do I mean by that? Well, in my area, and perhaps in your area as well, the vets won't treat a pet that hasn't been given the rabies shot. The county requires you to have rabies shots. So effectively, you're forced to have your animals injected with whatever's in those vaccines. And, of course, then there gets into the money thing, which is another obnoxiousness, that you're forced into doing something and then you're forced to pay for it on top of that. I think it's a very un-American thing to do. And I know that there are people out there who will, just like during the pandemic, screech about safety and our obligations to society. It's a bunch of nonsense. You're positing a hypothetical, an extremely unlikely hypothetical that hasn't actually happened in order to justify an actual. That is, you're actually imparting harm onto other people and their animals by compelling them to do these things so that you can feel safer. And I think that is un-American. It's also neurotic, in my view, because life is risk. Even if you were to stay in bed all day, there are risks that attend to staying in bed all day. But if you want to get out and live, you're going to deal with risks. Now, of course, you want to be prudent and judicious and rational about it, and that's all I'm advocating for, is the formerly taken for granted right of Americans to weigh costs and benefits and risks and reward and to assume things for themselves. Pretty simple doctrine, eh? And yet, ironically, people like myself, libertarians, are derided as weirdos and irresponsible people because we believe in such things as letting adults make their own decisions and be accountable and responsible for the decisions that they make, which is a key element of this. Anyway, more over at EPautos.com, the web's best libertarian gearhead site. You can also catch my latest interview with Brian Hyde. And I will also be doing my usual weekly Wheels Up segment tomorrow at about 10 o'clock East Coast time with Bill Meyer over at KMED FM in Medford, Oregon. So hope you can tune in, and thanks as always for listening, and we'll have more for you again soon.